Uh, so, how do I start this video? Have you ever heard someone say something that is so BS, you just had to speak up? I recently had one of these moments. Now, I'm not going to join in on the whole Dawn Trail is bad thing. I was expecting it. It's a new arc, can't start up there, has to kind of calm down. I was prepped for low stakes. Now, I would like to talk about something besides that. That is also probably considered criticism of Final Fantasy XIV. There was an interview with I don't remember their full name, but in the 14 community they're known as Mr. Ozma. So I guess due to Mr, I would assume it's okay for me to refer to them as a him. You know, just to try to offend as few people as possible. It's hard on the internet these days, but there we go. He is, from what I understand, the lead battle designer in 14. Mr. Ozma has designed some fights in 14. Pretty sure the most recent one would be the chaotic Cloud of Darkness. And he's supposedly known for maybe going a bit overboard. Then get reined back in and reminded that this has to be beatable by the EU community as well. So then they, rein it back in a little bit. But he was recently interviewed by someone, and he said some things. Now, before you get your panties in a twist, worrying that what I'm about to say will change things and neuter the dev's creativity, don't worry. I played this game since late 2.0, early 2.1. I think it was around then that I started. Square has proven time and time again that they do not give a flying fudge what people like me thinks. I am not a big streamer or content creator with 100k plus views. I'm just a guy sitting in his living room shouting at the void, as I'm sure my videos still get approximately 0 views. Not that I blame anyone. I wouldn't watch this either. But that's me. But the morning of this recording probably be since I upload these kind of videos on Saturdays now, and it's 14 past midnight, so I guess it's Monday. Yeah, this was recorded about a week ago as of the upload. But Sunday morning, last week, as of the upload, I watched a Mr. Happy video, where he, once again, Mr. Happy, so I'll assume male, talked about and read through this interview. So, let me just, so that we're all on the same page, nab, without permission, a couple of seconds of Mr. Happy's video. And then I'll see if I can put it up here so you can see what I'm talking about.
We just read that line. At least it was early in the article, you know what I mean? Each piece of content should be designed with a specific demographic in mind, with a difficulty that's just right for that target audience. At the same time, I also believe the content should still have something in store for players outside of the primary target audience. For example, Alliance raids are primarily designed for those who don't participate in high-end duties, such as extreme trials or savage raids. On the other hand, those who enjoy savage raids and other high-end duties may find Alliance raids are neither satisfying nor engaging to them. Alliance raids would just be boring content. So although we adjust difficulty levels based on the primary target audience, we still try to make the content as enjoyable as possible for all players, and we apply that philosophy to all content. Basically, saying that if an Alliance raid does some things right, then even a player that plays at a higher level may be able to find enjoyment with it. I definitely get this from time to time, and it was something Endwalker was largely missing.
Now, I didn't want anyone to accuse me of taking stuff out of context. Actually, I'm almost 5 minutes in, taking shit out of context. So I may have shown more than I needed to, but hopefully the screenshot of the channel name and pushing people towards the original creator makes up for it, at least a little bit. Now, but the part that I got kind of stuck on is we still try to make the content as enjoyable as possible for all players and apply that philosophy to all content. Okay, so try. We still try. Important one, and I would claim failing at. But try to make the content as enjoyable as possible for all players. Now, I don't want to seem rude, but yes, I am. But if that's the case, you suck at it. Maybe not as much as I suck at audio balancing, or most likely not as much as I suck at 14, but you do suck at it. Now, obviously this can mean a lot of things. I know there was a whole lot of noise around the release of Dawn Trail about, I don't know, weird mechanics indicators. I didn't have that problem, but I do have a problem that has been around for at least a little bit now. Let's take a couple of examples of this little issue. Let's play a little game and see if you can figure it out. Do you know what Eden's Promise, Cagnasio, or however that's pronounced, the Damsian Antlion, Halone, Black Cat, and the Shadow Lord have in common? Well, apart from being bosses in Final Fantasy XIV. Let me give you a hint. If you didn't figure it out from one of the many sources I could give you, it's memory mechanics. Mechanics that require you to remember things. All of these bosses have at least one of these, and these are only some of the bosses that do that shit. Like the crystals in Eden 12. Each crystal corresponds to a specific AoE pattern. That's fine, phase 1, but it only does one crystal. Phase 2, the boss will channel one crystal, save it, continue to fight, then pick another crystal, and then both of the patterns will go off at the same time, requiring you to remember not only what the first crystal was, but also what patterns they both are. So in my case, that was basically pick a spot and pray. You know, because the AoE indicators pop off for like 0.2 seconds just to point and laugh at me. Like, ha ha, you guessed wrong. Halone shows multiple AoE indicators before the first attack goes off. By the third indicator, I've forgotten the first. By the time the first attack goes off, I'm just guessing. Praying for as few Voln stacks as possible. Depression can heavily affect your memory. This is a very little talked about, but very well documented thing at this point. So I find it kind of fucking funny, pardon my French, that he claims that they try to make the content as enjoyable as possible for all players, when they seemingly actively make the game more and more unplayable for my people. That is, my brothers and sisters in depression. A very common issue these days. Even when you take out the shitholes that who claim to have beaten it, meanwhile my diagnosed ass is like, oh, share thy wisdom, oh mighty senpai, and they bring up things like exercise. Bitch, if you had depression, you wouldn't have had the energy to exercise. You were depressed. And yes, there's a fucking difference, you twat. You started exercising, you started feeling better about yourself, you stopped thinking about the things that has happened that made you depressed, and you cured it, quote unquote. Depression, you feel like shit for no real obvious reason. Like your body not generating some kind of chemical that I don't remember the name of that your brain uses to feel good. Dysthymia. Diagnosed. I shouldn't have kids, apparently. Not that that has ever really been a problem. No one wants this. Trust me, I don't want this, but I'm stuck with it. But from what I read, if a parent has it, there's like a 90% chance that any offspring will have it, and I don't feel like being a part of a statistic. You know, people who have lost kids to self-inflicted unsubscriptions, if you catch my drift. People like that pisses me off. But I digress. Like, just stop saying you have depression just because you're depressed. I may actually start hunting shitholes like that down. Attention-seeking assholes. Sorry, it bothers me. Like, putting it mildly, it bothers me. If you have depression, you need any energy you have left. After forcing your ass out of bed, you need to save all of that energy to fight back the urge of putting a gun in your mouth and pulling the fucking trigger. Or, I'm Norwegian, guns are kind of hard to get a hold of. Fetch a rope and search for an ominous looking tree. But let me try to get back on track. But yeah, I find it really fun that this guy can, I'm assuming with a straight face, claim this. Now you might be thinking, Kjell, we have battle rests. People will rest you. This is a cooperative game. We work together to deal with everyone's shortcomings. Like, that is how I think. Just throw a coin to my MP bar and we good. I don't mind resting, but I would love to DPS every now and then. I more or less main red mage. I've accepted this. I don't mind it one bit. But good luck finding a single motherfucker on the European data center's duty finder that thinks this way. You queue in, first time bonus pops up, people start demanding who's new. You let them know, because you know it's important that they're aware of this. Now, at this point, 1 out of like 4 things will happen. Either 1, they will tell you to fuck off right then and there. 2, they will leave because there's a noob in the party. 3, you are on thin ice. The moment you do anything that isn't perfect, you're out. Or 4, they will refuse to even move until the time limit has passed, and then they kick you. All of these also usually end in them reporting you for things, hoping to get you banned, for daring to randomly get grouped up with them. Now, you may remember number 3. This is the reason why I haven't done the Dreadwalk dungeon yet. I get grabbed from across the room. Internet speed about 500 both ways. Doesn't really matter when the EU servers are decommissioned 11 servers. Either we all get grabbed, or I get grabbed. And the team wipes on purpose, tell me to do things to myself, and then kick me, and then reporting me for things. This community is not as nice as a lot of streamers claim. Streamer privilege is strong in this community. Not even half as nice as it was back in the Realm Reborn. Those days are long gone. This community used to be nice, supportive, and understanding. Now it's just another cesspool. Now, and Square just refuses to do anything about this. Do you see the issue here? The community is getting more and more fucking hostile, and the developers have stolen my shoes and have spread broken glass on the road in front of me. You see the issue. Now, obviously, I don't expect them to keep everything in mind at all times. You know, there's about 8 billion people on this planet, and I'm going to assume, just like fetishes, there's about 8 billion types of, conditions that causes something to not work for you. But it would be nice if they stopped using my issues against me like a fucking sword. Scratch that, it's gone beyond sword. It's a sledgehammer at this point, just slamming my skull open while screaming, "Quit! You're not welcome! Unsub!" The thing is, I think they have succeeded. I have considered going back to World of Warcraft, as the community is more or less the same, but I have 10 years of content that's just waiting for me there. Let's see if Shadowlands is as shit as people say. The only thing really stopping me, it's, as I mentioned in multiple videos, it's Activision Blizzard. I haven't heard anything, so I'm going to assume it's still full of wastes of skin. And therefore, I don't want to support them. Considering it though, Gordius knows I need an MMO in my life. Guild Wars 2 sucked. Elder Scrolls Online bored me to sleep. So it's WoW or some Korean or Chinese pay-to-win trash. No offense meant to Koreans or Chinese, but you know I'm right. I have no reason to stay in 14, as it seems that not even the goddamn developer wants me there, considering they won't go a single fucking patch without making some sort of brick wall specifically designed to fuck me over. I don't know, man. I don't know. Again, this is just me shouting at a void. Who the fuck cares what I think? Just getting more than a little sick of being bullied for my mental issues. Kinda wish Square would just tell me that I'm not welcome anymore. Well, I'd take that over this shit. I guess it's kinda like harassment in a way. I'm paying a monthly sub to be harassed by Square. Just fucking tell me. You don't even have to bother Yoshi P. Just tell me and I'll leave. I don't know, hearing those claims almost caused me to pop a blood vessel. Because all players means all players. But you're doing the exact fucking opposite for me and my people. Repeatedly. Y'all don't stop. It's like your favorite new fucking thing or something. And I am so sick of it.